Welcome into this edition of Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. We are talking all things Dalvin Cook today. Could he be headed to the Baltimore Ravens after the news that broke within the last few hours that Cook and the New York Jets have mutually parted ways? And he'll first go to waivers, and then from there, if he clears waivers, he'll be available to sign. Here is the report from Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network saying the following: four-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook and the Jets have mutually agreed to part ways, allowing Cook the opportunity to play for a playoff team per his agency. The dynamic playmaker has fresh legs after minimal usage in New York and can now compete for a Super Bowl. Schefter providing some more context today, saying soon-to-be former Jets running back Dalvin Cook officially will be placed on waivers today, meaning he could be claimed at 4 p.m. Thursday, or, if he is not signed with another team after. So, with that, as you would think, with the Ravens running back situation, with this Ravens team that lost J.K. Dobbins at the beginning of the season, lost Keaton Mitchell a few weeks ago, even though the run game has been very good this season with the injuries they've endured, a name like Dalvin Cook, who was just a Pro Bowler a season ago, is going to be a name of interest, especially when you're talking about finding a running back that wants to play for a contending team. A lot of that starts to kind of make sense, right? And multiple insiders are pointing to the idea of Dalvin going to Baltimore. We'll explain more in just a moment, but first, with the Ravens playing the Steelers this week, that means we're in a sub-battle with the Steelers channel, hosted by Goofy Jack Sperry. I want to make sure that we don't just beat the Steelers on the football field, but off the football field as well, and win our sub-battle this week. Sperry sent us a little message talking some smack.
Ravens fans, it's Jack Sperry here of Steelers Talk, and I'm just here to tell you guys that we are going to kick your ass this week on the field, in the Super Chat battle, and of course in the subscriber battle this week. You guys remember the last time the Steelers have matched up against your Baltimore Ravens. We beat you in week 5. We beat you in week 17 last year with Kenny Pickett. And now we have our sweet prince Mason Rudolph, and he is going to kick your guys' asses. I don't know if you're going to play your starters or not, but you know what? If you want to play Lamar Jackson, he's going to lose his MVP this week. He sucks against the Steelers. We always have his number, and I cannot wait for this matchup this week. Steelers making the postseason. You don't want to see us there in the postseason this year. Fuck the Ravens, fuck Tyler Jones, and fuck the Ravens Rundown.
We're not going to let that bitch talk to us that way. Subscribe now to Ravens Rundown for free. Let's win the sub-battle. We'll continue here on today's show. Back to Dalvin Cook. Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report saying the following: if Cook's top priority is playing in a Super Bowl, the Ravens should be at the top of his list. However, if Cook is seeking a prominent role, Baltimore might not be the right landing spot for him. Ravens are a run-first team, first in rushing attempts, 31st in pass attempts, but Jackson leads the charge with a committee backfield behind him. The duo of Gus Edwards and Justice Hill has been more than serviceable for Baltimore, so Cook could find himself with only a minor role. This would likely change if Cook can prove he still has the explosiveness he showcased early in his career. Mitchell provided a breakaway threat in the backfield that the Ravens lack without him. Now, here's the thing. Bottom line, at this juncture in the bowl game, with the Ravens already having how their run game is established and what's been working, one of the best rushing units in all of football this year, you're not bringing Dalvin Cook in to be your lead running back. That's just not going to happen at this point in time. If Dalvin Cook is going to the Baltimore Ravens, he has to accept that this is a limited role. This is not to be your primary running back. If he's okay with that, then we're talking here. USA Today also linking the Ravens to Dalvin Cook, saying the following: the Ravens might make the most sense for Cook, as Baltimore lost breakout rookie running back Keaton Mitchell recently for the year and had already lost J.K. Dobbins at the start of the season. Baltimore would still likely lead with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill on offense, but Cook would be good insurance and could play on select downs to keep Edwards and Hill as fresh as possible. So, the way I look at it, if Dalvin Cook is willing to take on that secondary role of not being the lead back in this offense and wants to be a part of a team like this Baltimore Ravens group that's destined to compete for a title here, then this makes a ton of sense for both parties involved. In the fact that the Jets didn't use him a whole lot, I think that's actually to the advantage of Baltimore, that you have a fresh Dalvin Cook. So what do you guys think? Should the Ravens sign Dalvin Cook? Weigh in. Why for yes, in for no? In our pinned comment today, let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players in any given category, get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, pass completions, rushing yards, rushing attempts. Maybe you want to mix and match different leagues, the NFL, college football, NBA, and more. This week on Prize Picks, I'm mixing it up a little bit. I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys having less than 99.5 receiving yards. I know he had a big game against Detroit last week, but let's temper on expectations a little. Michael Pittman Jr., never trust anybody that wears an Indianapolis Colts uniform to perform. I got him to have less than 74.5 receiving yards. Let's put $20 down on it. We're making $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for that $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Now, when we hear the idea of Dalvin Cook wanting to play for a playoff contending team, as I look at this Baltimore Ravens roster and preparing for this Super Bowl run of sorts, right? There is no better place for Dalvin Cook than the Baltimore Ravens for 2 reasons. With the need there is at the running back position and where this team is positioned. Right now, there's no hotter team in the National Football League. Nobody with a better record. Nobody with a better shot to win the Super Bowl on January 3rd, 2024 than the Baltimore Ravens. That's a fact, Jack. Look at Dalvin Cook, a guy that's had 4 straight seasons with over 1,000 yards. We mentioned a Pro Bowler just a year ago. I'm not asking him even to be at a Pro Bowl level. I just need a change of pace back to mix things up to provide something that we don't see from Gus Edwards or Justice Hill. And Dalvin Cook could be just that. And we're not asking him for a full 17-game slate here. I just need Dalvin Cook for what? 3 games, potentially? 3-4 games, whatever it is? I think that's fine. You look at the numbers here for this Ravens team. Lamar Jackson's been fantastic this year, both through the air and on the ground. He's your leading rusher right now. But what did Keaton Mitchell do? He provided those big, explosive plays, right? 8.4 yards per carry, way higher than anybody else. And you don't have that explosiveness right now within these other backs. Dalvin Cook, although he may not be the back he was a couple years ago, I still like the explosion and that potential big play ability with him more than I do with Gus Edwards or Justice Hill. You look at the Ravens running back depth chart. I'm not thinking twice about cutting Melvin Gordon. If that's what it takes to bring in Dalvin Cook, you don't have to tell me twice. I think that would be an easy call. You keep Melvin on the practice squad if you want, whatever. You guys know the ongoing feud that's gone on this year between me and Melvin Gordon. I'm not going to lose sleep over that tonight. To me, this is an easy call. Now, as the Ravens get ready for the postseason, who's a player that they should add? Who comes to mind that you would like to see this Ravens team maybe add to the roster to kind of tighten things up before we get this playoff started? Is it Dalvin Cook? Is it somebody else? Name me a player that you'd like to see here on the roster before the Ravens begin the postseason. As we're wrapping up, one final note. Some of you may be saying to yourselves, it's just unnecessary. Everything's going good. Why would they even think about it? Well, just yesterday, Torrey Carter, a running back, worked out for the Baltimore Ravens. So obviously there is some looking of sorts from this Ravens team at their options to the running back position. No offense to Torrey Carter, but why would I waste my time with Torrey Carter when I could get Dalvin Cook? Hello? That sounds simple to me. Easy call for the Ravens. Go get Dalvin Cook. Go bring him in. Let's go get that Super Bowl title. Subscribe now to a Ravens Rundown for the latest happenings of your favorite team. We're going to be live coming up on Saturday for Ravens and Steelers. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us.